Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So we've got a quite possible hurricane coming here in, well, my backyard. That's right, I am down here in Florida, and this video is to help get people prepared for this. Now right now it's not even a tropical storm. It's sitting way down south. It's on the west side of Cuba and just sitting there. Well, come Monday they believe it's going to turn into a tropical storm, and then at that time it'll be named. And last projection shows it going up to a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall. There should be a photo up there for you guys to take a look at. Today there was a national, a state of emergency, not national, state of emergency declared here in Florida. That's expected. I mean, they know a hurricane or a very strong storm is coming this way, and it's being projected as a Category 1 before making landfall. Now down here in Florida, most Floridians don't even bat an eye for a Category 1. Me personally, as a prepper, I prepare for the worst as much as possible. The reason I say that is because of Hurricane Michael. It went from a Cat 2 to a Cat 5 overnight. Yeah, and that was my local area. So for those that are watching that are Floridians and you've had to deal with hurricanes, you guys already know what to do. But this is something that people need to be prepared for. This is natural disasters. It's one of the biggest things that we prepare for on this channel. Now, we have shown many different types of products, many different types of survival skills, techniques, and preparations for natural disasters many times on this channel, but we're going to discuss them really fast here. Number one is water. You need to have water stored up, because when the power gets knocked out, and unless you have a hand-drawn well, you're not going to have water. All right, if the water is running, it's not going to be potable, it's not going to be drinkable, because flood water, sewage backup, you're going to have to do boil notices in your area. You're gonna have to boil your water. If the power's out and you don't have a way of generating power to turn on a stove because you don't have a gas stove, how are you gonna do that? Best thing to do, stock up water. And down here in Florida, well, it was just on my hand, my arm. And down here in Florida, I don't know if you can see this little guy, big old pterodactyl. That is a mosquito, and we get a lot of them during storms. We get a lot of them anyway down here. Right, we do. Bug spray is definitely something you want to think about, because the power is out. Most of the windows and doors are coming open on your home to cool off. Those little buggers, they'll stick around. And that's the Florida state bird right there, the mosquito. Yeah, they get big here too, like pterodactyl size. Coffee. Yeah, I'm a prepper. I've got coffee. Food. Stock up canned goods. Something easy to cook. Most of your canned goods don't even have to be cooked. They can be eaten straight out of the can. They're already pre-cooked. But if you are looking for ways for having a warm meal, hey, canned goods is one of the best ways to go. Get yourself a nice little propane 2-burner stove. There should be some pop-ups there for you. You know, they're about 40 bucks. Propane in my local area, 2 of the 1-pound green tanks are about $10. So there you go. 1 green tank will last you roughly a week. It's about what we use. Yeah, we use ours all the time. I mean, on a daily basis. So food is definitely important. Now, we have done videos on solar. I mean, should be a pop-up there for you guys. We have our own solar grid. Our home is off-grid. We produce our own power. Having power after a hurricane is very nice to have. It is. If all you can do is have a gasoline generator, hey, I started there too. As a matter of fact, I still have a gasoline generator. I'm not giving it up. I love it. Get fuel on hand. That way you have it. After Hurricane Michael, my family was having to travel to Dothan, Alabama to find fuel, because everything else was gone. There was no way of getting gasoline or diesel in the local area. So to run a generator, they had to go all the way to Alabama to go get fuel. and then the long lines were there. So fuel on hand, gasoline generator. If you have these solar generators, we've shown many of those. Those things are freaking awesome. They will power up a fan. They will power up, it depends on what size you get, will power up an air conditioning unit, run it for hours. Very nice to have. It's not going to run a central air unit, but it will run a window unit just fine. And we've tested and done many tests on ours. Also, solar grid, of course, like we have, they're well worth their money. I love living off grid. Every time my area power goes out, guess who's got power? This guy. Yeah, I love it. For the must be nice, it is. It's very nice. I've done a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of education on my end to learn how to create solar, how to do everything. And I worked on it for a couple of years now to build our solar grid. So yes, it is nice. Must be nice to have your own home. It is nice. I've been building it piece by piece with my 2 hands. Yeah, work, save up some money, put it towards it. That's what I'm doing. I ain't rich. I just not giving up and not being told no. Make things happen. Preparedness is not sitting there with your hand out. Gimme, gimme. Preparedness is you are working towards something. You are striving for it. You want to be self-reliant as possible. That's what preparedness is for. That's what preparedness is. So when we see hurricanes and things like that coming our way, we gauge it. All right, a Cat 1, Cat 2, I'm not worried about it. Okay? I'm really not. Will there be power outages, water issues? Sure. When you start playing around in Category 3 and above, that's really when you want to think about moving out of the area. Anything over a Cat 3, I'm hauling ass. I'm not riding it out. Not in my area. I've been through too many hurricanes. I don't want to be in the middle of a Cat 3 and higher. But that's me. Some people prefer to. You're just lucky that nothing knocked the crap out of your house. So I've seen the damage of a Category 3. As of right now, this storm looks like it might be projected up to a Category 1. We keep an eye on it because it is in the Gulf. The Gulf is warm and it intensifies the storms. So we don't know what it is. Always have an evacuation plan ahead of time. And please, if you decide to evacuate, do not wait for the last minute. Reason being because everybody else is going to be doing the same thing, and the last thing you want to do is be stuck on the interstate, bumper to bumper, during a hurricane. Next up, of course, cash on hand. We've discussed that many of times. Electricity's out, so is your ATM card, so is your debit card. All right, cell phones. When I was in Orlando, hurricane came through. Cell phones didn't work. Towers were down. Have radios. All right, radios work. This didn't. All right, a cell phone did not. Flashlights, very important. I love having flashlights. Solar lanterns, I freaking love ours. I take mine on camping trips all the time. Having a way of powering up, lighting up things is really freaking awesome. After a hurricane, I'm going to tell you right now, especially down here in Florida, it's hot. It is miserable. Even if you didn't get hit directly, but everything's knocked out, it's brutal. Our heat index has been like 104, and we got a warning today up to 114. As a matter of fact, there should be a pop-up here looking for volunteers in my area for cool-down stations because it's so freaking hot. They're actually calling for like 114 heat index. That's pretty hot. Add that to a hurricane, no power, no air conditioning, no nothing. Yeah. People can lose their lives over that because a lot of people are dependent on air. All right, medical equipment, medical devices, medicine. Sorry guys, I worked my ass off today, got home, got the sheathing on the new edition of the home done. I run out of daylight. I still got a Tyvek it. I still got to put my tin roof on. I still have to run insulation, electrical, put the window in. Still have a lot to do. But I made it a point to make sure I got a video done today, guys, or tonight. So if it seems a little off track just a little bit, it's because I'm freaking exhausted. I am. But it's all well worth it. It's all for a reason. We prepare, we push ourselves as much as possible. That's what prepping is all about. Pushing your body. Our workout channel, our workout videos. I'm trying to teach, educate you, and prepare you. Because when you are not prepared, case in point, Hurricane Michael, people were walking to retention ponds. If you don't know what a retention pond is because you're not here in Florida, it's a big pond near the road that water builds up in, and it's full of chemicals and all kind of crap. But people walk into those, and also the big ditches on our sides of the roads, one of the best places to get crawfish if you ask me, to get water. And they were having strokes and heart attacks because their heart was not conditioned for walking that far, let alone walking in that heat, and let alone carrying 2 5-gallon buckets back to their house a mile to 2 miles. This is why I push exercising and working out. That's why I'm always doing it. I'm keeping my body trained in preparation for shit hits the fan. And that comes in many different forms. It's not all about the Mad Max and zombie apocalypse. You're going to experience a natural disaster more often than the end-all be-all apocalypse. As preppers, we prepare for as much as possible. This is one of those things that you should be preparing for because it will happen. Guaranteed it will happen. Alright guys, y'all be safe. I try to keep you updated on this as much as possible. I gotta figure out what's up with my work because they're still planning on working during a hurricane. Only in Florida. Alright guys, speak to y'all later.